My name is Jessica. I wanted a better life. I left my kind husband for a rich man. I was so stupid. I regret leaving my husband. I regret it every single day. I am 30 years old now. But my story starts when I was 23. I lived in a small town. The town was quiet. The people were nice. I was married to a man named Tom. Tom was my first love. We got married very young. We were only 21 years old. Tom was a good man. He was a very kind man. He had a big smile. He had warm brown eyes. He always spoke softly. He never shouted at me. But we did not have money. We were poor. Tom worked in a big factory. He worked very hard. His job was not easy. He woke up early every day. He woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was always dark outside. It was always cold. He came home late in the evening. He was always tired. His hands were dirty from work. His clothes smelled like oil and sweat. But he always smiled when he saw me. He always kissed my forehead. He always said, "I love you, Jessica. How was your day?" I loved him too. I really did, but love was not enough for me. I wanted more. I wanted money. I was foolish. Maybe you know this feeling. Maybe you look at your life and you want more. It is normal to want nice things. But we must be careful. We must not let greed take over our hearts. Our house was very small. It had only 2 rooms. The paint on the walls was old. The floor was old wood. It made a loud noise when you walked on it. When it rained, the roof leaked. Water came inside the house. We had to put bowls on the floor to catch the water. I hated the rain. I hated the bowls. I hated the old house. I wanted a big house. I wanted a clean, beautiful house. I liked to look at magazines. I saw pictures of rich women. They had beautiful dresses. They had shiny shoes. They had big diamond rings. They looked so happy. I looked at my hands. My hands were empty. I had no rings. I had cheap clothes. My shoes were old. I felt sad. I felt angry. Why was my life so hard? Why did I have to count my money every day? Why couldn't I be like the women in the magazines? One day, my shoes broke. It was winter. The wind was very cold. There was snow on the ground. There was a big hole in my shoe. I walked outside. The snow went into my shoe. My feet were wet. My feet were freezing. I started to cry. I felt so poor. I felt so unlucky. I went home. I showed Tom my broken shoe. I was crying loudly. Tom looked very sad. His eyes looked tired. He touched my face. He wiped my tears with his rough hands. He said, "I am sorry, Jessica. I am so sorry. I will work more. I will ask my boss for extra work. I will buy you new shoes." And he did. He worked on Saturday. He worked on Sunday. He did not rest. He brought home some money. He bought me new shoes. But they were cheap shoes. They were from a cheap store. They were not pretty. They were not shiny. They were just brown and plain. I looked at the shoes. I did not smile. I did not say thank you. I was not thankful. I was angry. I took the shoes and put them in the closet. Tom looked at me. He looked broken, but he did not say anything. He just went to sleep. I am so sorry now. I was so blind. I did not see his hard work. I only saw the cheap shoes. I worked in a small coffee shop in the town. It was a nice shop. We sold good coffee. We sold sweet cakes. Sometimes, rich people from the big city came to our town. They stopped at our shop. They bought expensive coffee. They wore nice clothes. I served them. I gave them their coffee. I smiled at them. But inside, I was very jealous. My heart felt dark. One day, a man walked into the coffee shop. His name was Richard. I will never forget that day. The bell on the door rang. Richard walked in. He looked different from the men in our town. He wore a beautiful black suit. It looked very expensive. His shoes were shiny. His hair was perfect. He wore a big gold watch on his arm. I looked out the window. He drove a black car. A very big, very clean, very expensive black car. He walked to the counter. He looked at me. He had cold blue eyes, but he smiled. It was a confident smile. "Hello," he said. His voice was smooth. "I would like a black coffee, please." "Yes, sir," I said. My hands were shaking a little. I made his coffee. I gave it to him. The coffee was $3. Richard gave me a $20 bill. "Keep the change," he said. $17. It was a very big tip. It was a lot of money for me. I was shocked. I looked at him with wide eyes. "Thank you, sir," I said. He smiled again. "You are too beautiful to work in a small shop like this," he said. Then he walked out. My heart beat fast. Nobody ever said that to me. I felt special. I felt seen. Richard came back the next day. He ordered another coffee. He left another big tip. He came back every day for a week. He always looked at me. He started to talk to me. He asked me questions. "What is your name?" he asked. "Jessica," I answered. "Jessica," he said slowly. "A beautiful name for a beautiful woman." He asked about my life. I told him the truth. I told him I was married. I told him I lived in a small house. I told him I had no money. He listened to me. He looked at my face. He shook his head. "That is a shame," Richard said. "A woman like you should have everything. You should wear diamonds. You should travel the world. Your husband cannot give you the life you deserve." His words felt good. I liked his words. I wanted to believe him. I went home that evening. Tom was at the kitchen table. He was trying to fix a broken chair. He had glue on his fingers. He had a hole in his shirt. I looked at Tom. Then I thought about Richard. Richard smelled like expensive cologne. Tom smelled like old wood and sweat. Richard had clean, soft hands. Tom had rough, dirty hands. Richard drove a nice car. Tom took the bus. I started to compare them. It was a terrible mistake. Listen to me. Never compare your partner to someone else. It is a dangerous game. It will destroy your happiness. It will break your heart. I know this now, but I did not know it then. A few days later, it was my wedding anniversary. Tom and I were married for 3 years. Tom wanted to make it special, but we had no money for a restaurant. So, Tom cooked dinner at home. He made simple pasta with tomato sauce. He bought 1 red rose. He put the rose in a glass of water on the table. He lit a small candle. He was so happy. He washed his face. He put on a clean shirt. I came home from work. I saw the table. I saw the pasta. I saw the 1 single rose. I felt nothing. I felt no joy. I felt no love. Tom smiled at me. He looked so proud. "Happy anniversary, my beautiful wife," he said. He tried to hug me. I pushed him away gently. "I am tired," I said. "But I made dinner," Tom said. His voice was quiet. "I don't want pasta, Tom," I said. "I am sick of pasta. I am sick of this small house. I am sick of having nothing." Tom's smile disappeared. The light in his eyes died. He looked at the floor. "I am sorry, Jessica," he whispered. "I am doing my best." "Your best is not good enough," I said. They were cruel words. They were the worst words I ever said. I stabbed my kind husband in the heart with my words. I did not sit down. I did not eat the dinner. I went to the bedroom. I closed the door. I left him alone in the kitchen. I heard him sit down. I heard silence. He did not eat either. I ruined our special night. The next day at the coffee shop, I was sad. Richard came in. He saw my face. "What is wrong, beautiful?" he asked. I told him about the pasta. I told him about the 1 rose. I told him I was unhappy. Richard reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small black box. He opened it. Inside the box was a necklace. It was real gold. It had a shiny stone in the middle. It was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. "This is for you," Richard said. "Happy anniversary." I gasped. "I cannot take this," I said. "It is too expensive." "Take it," Richard said. He walked around the counter. He put the necklace around my neck. It felt cold and heavy. It felt like money. "Jessica," Richard said. He looked into my eyes. "Leave him. Leave your poor husband. Come with me. I have a big house in the city. I have a lot of money. I can buy you anything you want. You will never worry about money again. You will live like a queen." My heart was racing. I touched the gold necklace. I closed my eyes. I thought about my old house. I thought about the bowls catching the rain. I thought about the cheap brown shoes. Then I thought about the big house in the city. I thought about new dresses. I thought about being rich. I made my choice. "Okay," I whispered. "I will come with you." I went home to pack my things. Tom was not home yet. He was still at the factory. I took a small bag. I packed a few clothes. I did not take much. Richard said he would buy me new clothes. I waited for Tom. I sat on the old bed. The floor creaked. I waited. At 7 o'clock, the door opened. Tom came in. He looked very tired. He saw my bag on the bed. He saw me wearing my coat. He stopped walking. He looked confused. "Jessica, are you going somewhere?" he asked. I stood up. I took a deep breath. "Tom, I am leaving," I said. My voice was cold. He laughed a little, a nervous laugh. He thought it was a bad joke. "What do you mean?" "Are you going to your mother's house?" he asked. "No, Tom, I am leaving you. I am moving away. I am getting a divorce." The room went completely silent. I could hear the clock ticking. Tick, tick, tick. Tom dropped his lunchbox. It hit the floor with a loud noise. "Why?" he whispered. His voice was shaking. "I found someone else," I said. I looked away. I could not look into his warm brown eyes. He is a rich man. He lives in the city. He can give me a better life. I am tired of being poor, Tom. I am tired of this life. Tom's face turned white. He looked sick. He took a step towards me. "No," he said. "No, Jessica, please. Do not do this." He fell to his knees. My strong, hard-working husband fell to the floor. He started to cry. Big tears fell from his eyes. He held my legs. He looked up at me. "Please, Jessica," he cried. "I love you. I love you so much. I will work 3 jobs. I will stop sleeping. I will give you everything. Just please, do not leave me. You are my whole world." It broke my heart to see him like this. But then, I touched the gold necklace under my coat. I hardened my heart. I pulled my legs away. "It is too late, Tom," I said. "Money cannot buy love, maybe. But your love cannot buy me a good life. Goodbye." I picked up my bag. I walked out the door. "Jessica," he screamed my name. It was a loud, painful scream. I did not stop. I did not turn around. I walked down the street. Richard was waiting in his big black car. He opened the door for me. I got in. We drove away. I left my kind husband behind. I left true love behind. I thought I was walking into heaven. I was wrong. I was walking into a trap. I moved into Richard's house. It was huge. It was a mansion. It had white stone walls. It had many tall windows. It had beautiful gardens. There was a big blue swimming pool in the back. My new bedroom was bigger than my old house. The bed was huge. The sheets were made of silk. The floor was white marble. It was shiny and cold. Richard gave me a credit card. He said, "Go buy clothes. Buy whatever you want." I was so excited. I quit my job at the coffee shop. I did not want to work anymore. I wanted to be a rich lady. I went to the biggest mall in the city. I went to the most expensive stores. I bought beautiful dresses. Red dresses, black dresses, blue dresses. I bought high-heeled shoes. I bought expensive bags. I bought perfume. I went to the hair salon. They made my hair beautiful. I went to the nail salon. They painted my nails red. I looked in the mirror. I looked like the women in the magazines. I looked perfect. For the first month, I was very happy. I thought life was wonderful. I thought I made the right choice. I woke up late. I drank expensive coffee by the pool. I read books. I went shopping. I ordered fancy food. It was the easy life. It was the life I always wanted. But soon, things began to change. I started to notice Richard. I mean, really notice him. Richard was always working. He woke up very early. He left the house before I woke up. He came home very late at night. When he came home, he did not want to talk. He was always on his phone. He was always typing on his computer. I tried to talk to him. "Richard, how was your day?" I asked. "Busy. Don't bother me right now, Jessica," he said. He did not look up from his phone. We went to dinner sometimes. We went to very fancy restaurants. The food cost hundreds of dollars, but we sat in silence. We did not laugh. We did not joke. I tried to hold his hand across the table. He pulled his hand away. "Stop it, Jessica. People are looking," he said. He was very cold. I started to feel lonely. The big house was too quiet. The white walls felt like a hospital. The marble floor was always cold on my feet. I had no friends in the city. Richard's friends came over sometimes. They were rich people. They wore nice clothes. But they did not like me. The women looked at me with cold eyes. They whispered behind my back. "She is just a gold digger," I heard one woman say. "She only wants his money. She has no class." I went to the bathroom and cried. They were right. I was a gold digger, but it hurt to hear it. I realized Richard did not love me. He liked me, yes. He liked my face. He liked my body. He liked to show me to his friends. "Look at my beautiful girlfriend," he would say. I was like a new watch to him. I was like a shiny new car. I was a beautiful object, but I was not a partner. I was not a person to him. He never asked about my feelings. He never asked about my past. He did not know my favorite color. He did not know what made me sad. He did not care. One day I got sick. It was winter again. I caught a very bad flu. I had a high fever. My body was shaking. My head hurt so much. I felt very weak. I lay in the huge silk bed. I felt lost in the big bed. I was so cold. I called Richard on his phone. "Richard," I said weakly, "I am very sick. I have a high fever. Please come home. I need you. Please take care of me." Richard sighed loudly on the phone. He sounded annoyed. "Jessica, I am at a very important meeting," he said. "I cannot come home. I am busy making money to pay for your expensive life. Call a doctor. Have them come to the house. I am not your nurse." Click, he hung up the phone. I lay there in the dark. The big house was silent. Nobody was coming to help me. Nobody cared if I lived or died. I closed my eyes, and suddenly I remembered Tom. I remembered when I got sick in our small house. It was 2 years ago. I had a bad cold. Tom did not go to work that day. He stayed home with me. He lost money, but he did not care. He made me warm chicken soup. He blew on it to cool it down. He fed it to me with a spoon. He put a cold, wet cloth on my hot forehead. He sat next to the bed all day. He held my hand. His rough hands felt so warm and safe. He told me funny stories to make me smile. He woke up in the middle of the night to give me water. He loved me. He truly loved me. In Richard's big house, I had everything, but I had nothing. Money cannot make soup. Money cannot hold your hand when you are shaking. Money cannot look at you with love in its eyes. I started to cry. I cried so hard my chest hurt. I cried for my mistake. I cried for Tom. I missed him so much. I missed his smile. I missed his voice. I missed his smell. I missed the old wooden floor. I missed the small kitchen. I wanted to go back. I wanted my husband back. It was my 25th birthday. I woke up in the morning. I felt sad. I went down the big stairs. Richard was drinking coffee. He was dressed in a suit. He was ready to leave. He saw me. He picked up a white envelope from the table. He handed it to me. "Happy birthday, Jessica," he said. I opened the envelope. There was a lot of cash inside. Crisp, new $100 bills. "Go to the mall," Richard said. "Buy yourself a new bag or some shoes. I have to work late tonight. I will not be home for dinner." He did not kiss me. He did not hug me. He did not say, "I love you." He just gave me paper money and walked out the door. I stood alone in the huge kitchen. I looked at the money in my hands. It felt dirty. It felt meaningless. I took a taxi to the mall. I walked around. The stores were full of beautiful things, shiny things, expensive things. I did not want any of it. I sat on a wooden bench in the middle of the mall. I watched the people walk by. I saw a young couple. They were young. They did not have nice clothes. The man wore an old jacket. The woman wore simple shoes. But they were holding hands. They were eating one ice cream cone together. They were laughing. The man looked at the woman with so much love. My heart broke. I had money in my pocket, but I was the poorest woman in the world. I had no love. I traded a diamond heart for gold coins. I was so stupid. I was so stupid. I made a decision right there on the bench. I could not stay with Richard. I could not live this empty life anymore. The big house was a prison. The nice clothes were a lie. I went back to the mansion. I went to my big closet. I took out the small bag I brought from my old house. I only packed my old clothes. The plain shirts. The cheap brown shoes. I left all the beautiful dresses. I left all the expensive bags. I left the red high heels. I took off the gold necklace. The necklace that made me leave my husband. I put it on the silk bed. I put the envelope of cash next to it. I wrote a short note. "Richard, I am leaving. Keep your money. I want a real life." I walked out of the big white house. I did not look back. I felt light. I felt like I could breathe again. I walked to the bus station. I bought a ticket to my old town. The bus ride was long. I sat by the window. I watched the city disappear. I watched the trees and fields pass by. I felt scared, but I felt hopeful. I was going to find Tom. I was going to fall on my knees. I was going to beg for his forgiveness. I was going to tell him he was right. I was going to tell him I loved him more than anything in the world. I wanted to fix my mistake. I wanted to build a life with him again. I would live in a tent with him if I had to. I just wanted his warm brown eyes. The bus arrived in my old town. It was late afternoon. The sun was going down. The sky was orange and pink. I walked down the familiar streets. I knew every house. I knew every tree. It felt like home. My heart was beating so fast. Boom, boom, boom. I was nervous. I was sweating. I walked to our old street. I looked at our old house. The house looked a little different. The paint was new. It was painted a bright, happy yellow. There were beautiful flowers in the windows. Red, pink, and white flowers. The roof looked fixed. It was a happy house now. I smiled. Maybe Tom got a promotion. Maybe he fixed the house. I was so happy for him. I walked up to the door. My hands were shaking. I raised my hand. I knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. I waited. It felt like 100 years. I heard footsteps. The door slowly opened. There he was, Tom. He looked exactly the same. He looked handsome. His brown eyes were kind. His shoulders were strong. But he did not smile when he saw me. His eyes went wide. He looked very surprised. He looked shocked. "Jessica," he whispered. His voice was deep. Tears filled my eyes. I could not hold them back. They ran down my face. "Tom," I cried. My voice was breaking. "Tom, it is me. I am back." He just stared at me. He did not move. He did not open his arms. "Tom, please listen to me," I said. I spoke fast. I was wrong. I was so stupid. I am so sorry. You were right. Money is nothing. The rich man was cold. The big house was empty. I had everything, but I had nothing. Because I did not have you. I cried harder. I wanted to touch his hand, but I did not dare. "I missed you every single day," I said. "I missed your smile. I missed your hands. I missed your love. Please, Tom, please forgive me. Please let me come home. I will be a good wife. I will never ask for anything again. I just want you." I waited for his answer. I waited for him to smile. I waited for him to hug me. Tom looked down at the ground. He took a deep breath. He looked very sad. He looked tired. "Jessica," he said. His voice was very soft. "I loved you. You know, I loved you with all my heart." "I know," I cried. "I know you did, and I love you too." Tom slowly shook his head. Left to right, no. "You broke me, Jessica," he said. "When you walked out that door, you took my life with you." I cried for months. I could not sleep. I could not eat. I almost died from a broken heart. You threw my love in the garbage for a gold necklace. "I know," I sobbed. "I am sorry." "I had to rebuild myself," Tom said. "I had to learn to live again. Without you, I fixed the house. I got a better job at the factory. I moved on. I had to move on. But you can take me back now, I said. We can start again. Tom looked at me with sad eyes. No, Jessica. I cannot trust you again. You broke the trust. Once glass is broken, you cannot put it back together perfectly. It will always have cracks. I cannot give you my heart again. You might drop it again. I felt cold. I felt like I was dying. Please, Tom, I begged. Then I heard a sound from inside the house. I heard a voice, a soft, sweet voice. Tom, honey, who is at the door? A woman walked up behind Tom. My breath stopped. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. She was a beautiful woman. She had kind green eyes. She had soft brown hair. She wore a simple dress. And she was pregnant. Her belly was big and round. She put her hand on Tom's arm. Tom turned his head to look at her. His face changed completely. The sadness disappeared. His face filled with light. His face filled with love. It was the same love he used to give me. But now, it belonged to her. It is okay, Sarah, Tom said gently. Just an old friend. Go sit down. You need to rest. Sarah smiled at me. Hello, she said kindly. She did not know who I was. Hello, I whispered. My voice was dead. Tom looked back at me. I am sorry, Jessica, he said. I am happy now. I have a family. I have peace. I cannot let you bring chaos back into my life. I wish you the best. I hope you find happiness. But you cannot find it here. I looked at Tom. I looked at Sarah. I looked at the happy yellow house. I realized my mistake was final. There was no going back. You cannot rewind time. You cannot undo a terrible choice. I lost him forever. I threw away a diamond to pick up a shiny rock. And now, the diamond belonged to someone else. I stood up straight. I wiped my face with my hand. I tried to be strong. I understand, Tom, I said quietly. She looks very kind. I am glad you are happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve a good woman. I was not a good woman. Tom nodded slowly. Goodbye, Jessica. Goodbye, Tom. He closed the door softly. Click. The door was closed. My old life was closed. My chance at true love was gone forever. I stood on the street alone. The sun was gone. It was getting dark. It was getting cold. I walked away. I walked slowly into the night. Now I live alone. I did not go back to Richard. I could never go back to that empty life. I moved to a new city, a small city. I live in a very small apartment. It has one room. The walls are thin. I can hear the cars outside. I work in a small grocery store. I put food on the shelves. I wash the floors. I stand on my feet all day. It is hard work. It is not an easy life. I do not have a lot of money. Sometimes I cannot buy meat for dinner. Sometimes my shoes get old and I have to wait to buy new ones. But I am okay. I make my own money. I pay my own rent. I do not depend on any man. Every night, I sit in my small room. I drink cheap tea. I think about my life. I think about the choices I made. I regret leaving my husband. I regret it with every breath I take. But I cannot change the past. I can only learn from it. I am telling you my story because I want to help you. I am talking to you, the person listening to this. Maybe you feel unhappy with your life right now. Maybe you want more money. Maybe you want a bigger house, or a faster car, or nicer clothes. It is okay to want nice things. We all want comfortable lives. But please, listen to my warning. Do not let greed blind you. Do not chase money and forget about love. Money is just paper. Money is just metal. Money cannot hug you when you are sad. Money cannot hold your hand when you are sick. Money cannot look into your eyes and say, I believe in you. If you have a good person in your life, hold on to them. If you have someone who works hard for you, say thank you. If you have someone who makes you soup when you are sick, appreciate them. If you have someone who looks at you like you are the only person in the world, never let them go. True wealth is not in the bank. True wealth is in the heart. Love is the most expensive thing in the world, but it is free to give. It is a gift. Do not throw the gift away. Do not compare your partner to other people. Look at their heart. Look at their kindness. I wanted the easy life. I wanted to skip the hard work. I wanted to be rich fast. But the easy life was empty. It was cold. It was lonely. Now I have a hard life. But my heart is learning. My heart is growing. I am trying to be a better person. I am trying to be kind. I am trying to be humble. Maybe one day I will find love again. I hope I do. And if I do, I will treat it like a treasure. I will protect it. I will not care about the size of the house or the brand of the clothes. I will only care about the warmth of the heart. You can learn from my mistakes. You do not have to make the same errors. Look around you today. Find the good things in your life. Be grateful for the small things. The sun in the sky. A warm cup of coffee. A smile from a friend. Be happy with what you have while you work for what you want. But never trade your soul for a shiny necklace. Never trade real love for cold cash. It is a bad deal. You will lose everything. I am Jessica. I was stupid, but I am wiser now. Keep going. Keep working hard. Keep loving truly. Your life is beautiful just the way it is. Protect your happiness. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps your heart. Take care of yourself and take care of the people you love.